Welcome to Electrified. It's your host, Dylan Loomis. Shout out to my newest patron, Dom D. Thank you for choosing to support the channel. Just in case you happen to be out at Target, maybe you should take a look at the Matchbox section to potentially find one of these. An update on the new Oakhurst supercharging station where they had the cables cut off. Not only was Tesla Charging able to get the site back up and running within just a few days, they've also added a solar-powered security station with alarms and cameras to keep the paddies away. Kudos to the Tesla team. This was shared yesterday on the Tesla Motors Club forum. This user said, "The site's open. I was able to charge for a few minutes despite a cold, nearly full battery," and some more pictures of this new contraption at the Oakhurst site. From Simon at Teslarati, Tesla gets first place in the inaugural Industrial Digital Transformation Report. This is from ARK Advisory Group, not ARK Invest. This one is spelled with a C. The report analyzes companies across several industries and ranks them based on how well they excel at integrating digital technologies in all areas of their business. Tesla took the #1 spot. This report covers a pretty wide range of different industries: pharmaceutical, consumer goods, energy, mining, machinery and aero, and of course, automotive. The director of research said, "For those who succeed at implementing these digital transformations, the result is a competitive advantage even during the most difficult economic times." The rankings covered three main components of a business: financial indicators, transformation indicators, and collective intelligence. The transformation indicators were scored based on software and ESG data, and collective intelligence was based on selection and ranking by ARK's own analysts. Here is the table with the scores. Now, if you're looking at these figures, this is most likely 2020 over 2019, as they don't have the full year 2021 data, because if they did, this Tesla's profitability as a percent of revenue would be closer to 10%, and the year-over-year revenue growth would be around 70%. Intel came in second and BMW was in third. Now, some people were complaining that SpaceX was not on this list. I'm not sure, but my guess would be maybe this is only for public companies. The group went on to say Tesla is a distinct automaker whose products are near incomparable to their competition. And speaking of Tesla, they said, by showing value from the start and having internal stakeholder support initiatives, internal employee resistance is minimized, and Tesla can adapt to business challenges with greater ease quickly. So always good to see Tesla receiving some of the credit it is due. Here we'll take a look at some of the progress going on at Giga Austin. You're looking at the rear underbody mold, or the rub mold. Tesla periodically will remove it like this for maintenance and to make adjustments. In these next three images, you'll see that Tesla is continually experimenting on possible improvements and updates on different ways to mate the interior cabin onto the structural battery pack. And lastly, I can't confirm this for sure, but there's about an 85% chance that these units you're looking at are among the first cars made at Giga Austin, which are scheduled for some finishing touches and then will ultimately be delivered to customers. The news item getting by far the most media attention today is this: Tesla cut a steering component from some cars to deal with a chip shortage, according to sources being internal employees at Tesla. Some of you may be rolling your eyes because yes, Laura Kolodny has been negative to Tesla in the past. However, this is actually a pretty solid article. So what's going on here? Well, Tesla decided to remove one of the two electronic control units that are normally included in the steering racks of some made in China Model 3 and Ys, according to two employees. Most of the controversy here is coming from the fact that Tesla did not disclose the exclusion to the customers. Once again, a decision that was made internally after discussions by employees. Internally, some Tesla employees have said that adding level 3 functionality in the future would need the dual electronic control unit system and therefore require a future retrofit at a service visit if and when Tesla gets to level 3, more of a hands-free driving experience. The employees have said that this exclusion of this part would not cause safety issues since the removed part was deemed a secondary electronic control unit used mainly as a backup. The specific item omitted is an electronic control unit in the electric power assisted steering systems, which translate steering wheel movements into wheel turns on the street. Once again, there were internal discussions about whether to notify customers. Ultimately, they decided the tweak did not rise to the level of customer notification, at least until Tesla is ready to launch level 3. Possible reasons why they came to that conclusion: these vehicles are mostly going to customers in China initially, where where the FSD take rate has not been significant. It's been just over 1% of all Tesla customers in China opting for the FSD package. However, reportedly tens of thousands of the affected vehicles were exported to customers beyond China, including Australia, the UK, Germany, and throughout Europe. CNBC asked Richard Wallace, a veteran in transportation safety, and he said if something like this in ECU is not providing additional functionality, if it's truly redundant, you may be able to turn it off or leave it out. And while some are definitely going to criticize this move, there's also another potential side to the story where Tesla can make these changes where other automakers simply cannot, and they might be forced to shut down a factory like Ford is doing right now. Richard said most automakers would spend 1,000 hours on testing or more to make any big changes. That can take upwards of 4 months, when something like this could take Tesla just a few days or weeks. And in this case, Tesla employees told CNBC the company spent less than a few weeks discussing the change before moving ahead. In these situations, I just default to trusting Tesla and the engineers that if they're going to make a decision like this, it's ultimately not going to harm the public. They always have safety at the very top of the priority chain, so I don't think they're going to make decisions that operate outside of that. And it sounds like in the future, if any of these specific vehicles that are affected do end up with FSD at a time when level 3 or beyond is available, they'll just need a simple service retrofit appointment. And while the media will paint this as a massive negative, I personally kind of view it as a competitive advantage. Not that it's overall a great thing, but that's possibly 10,000 plus vehicles that Tesla would not have delivered had they not had the flexibility and foresight to do something like this. A cool stat here from Sawyer: Tesla hired an average of 78 people globally every day in 2021. That's up from an average of about 62 people globally every day in 2020. Yesterday, Elon kind of went off on Twitter on traditional media. Why is the traditional media such a relentless hate stream? Real question. Most news outlets attempt to answer the question, what are the worst things happening on Earth today? It's a big planet. Obviously, some bad things are happening somewhere at any given time, but focusing relentlessly on those does not give an accurate picture of reality. He continues in the comments, replying to the fact that negative news sells better, saying that's true to some degree, but citizen podcasts aren't negative like Rogan, Friedman, Dodd, TED interviews, etc. Maybe part of why traditional media outlets are so negative is because old habits die hard. They so rarely even try to be positive. And replying to Gail, Elon said it's so hard to find out what's going on in the world without being bombarded with news that makes one sad and angry. Honestly, I love to see this. I have been telling people in my circle for years to quit watching mainstream media. There are so many better ways to get the news that you're interested in, to support citizen journalism, and to not be bombarded with this massive negativity and the narratives and everything that's going on, because the truth is there is a ton of incredible stuff going on in the world that deserves coverage and attention and admiration, but the mainstream media will not focus on any of it. Slashdot tweeted, the EU may struggle to fund the $48 billion CHIPS Act, and Elon responded, not needed. My guess for why Elon would say this is because there are enough fabs already being built. Here we have a note from Bank of America's Steven Suttmeyer, technical research strategist. The main reason I want to show you this is just a reminder that yes, many Wall Street firms do have entire divisions based on technical analysis. The only thing I want to highlight, he said Tesla technical should remain solid with upside potential back to the recent highs around 1,200 and potentially beyond. The big absolute price support for Tesla is from 919 down to the 822 to 780 range. And in this case, Steven was using the 26 and 40 week moving averages. We'll talk a little bit more about this on Friday. The New York Times had a solid article on why this could be a critical year for electric vehicles. Just to point out a few quick things, rapid growth could make 2022 the year when the march of battery-powered cars become unstoppable, erasing any doubt that the internal combustion engine is lurching toward obsolescence. It's one of the biggest industrial transformations probably in the history of capitalism, according to Scott Keogh, chief exec of Volkswagen Group. However, we all need to proceed gracefully and with compassion, as around 3 million Americans make, sell, and service cars and auto parts, an industry that we know will decline and be hit very significantly. A good reminder when it comes to charging, we need to focus on apartment residents where they don't have at-home charging. One of the main benefits of EVs, The infrastructure bill is including about $7.5 billion for 500,000 new chargers. However, while more public charging is a good thing, we still need to focus on helping out these apartment residents to be able to charge at home. According to a former Ford executive, at the rate it's growing now, it being Tesla, it will be bigger than GM in 5 years. And lastly, the article pointed out the next few years could be perilous for car makers that have been slow to offer EVs, and they mentioned Toyota and Ram. One of my favorite newer Twitter accounts, Chrome Delete, is on fire with another concept prototype. What if Teslas knew about the weather? How might you use this feature? Check it out.
So what if Teslas could know about the weather? I actually think this would open the door to some really interesting possibilities. So let's say you want to take a trip somewhere. It knows the path that you're going to take. And if it knew about the weather, it could give you these weather alerts here for different points along the path. So for example, here we have a winter storm warning that lets us know that there is a weather alert in effect for this location around the time that we are going to be passing through there. Maybe we want to get more information, or maybe we just want to find a new route to get around that. We can also bring up these temperature overlays so we can see just how cold it's going to be in that area. Maybe we want to see the precipitation. And yeah, sure enough, it looks like there's going to be several inches of precipitation in that area around the time we're passing through.
Met God in the Wilderness shared this video of the Tesla Cybertruck spotted at Fremont. There were some complaints that the drone was flying a little too close to the workers, and at the end of the video that was definitely confirmed, but I just wanted to play a short clip for you to see what's going on here. It looks like they were doing some measuring, and it's hard to tell what else is going on. If any of you have any ideas for what's taking place, please let us know in the comments below. In response to a tweet about rendering potholes would be very impressive for Tesla, Greeny only said they are preparing to do some sort of a 3D terrain on the visualization. Not sure what form it'll take, so we'll wait and see what happens with this one. And did you guys happen to see this? This is the cybercatamaran.com, and they're calling it the Cybercat and the Cybercat Foiler. Basically, a device to turn the Cybertruck into a catamaran. The Foiler is a product that takes it one step further by adding hydrofoils to maximize efficiency on the water. It's supposed to be portable and very easy to install. The Cybercat is supposed to let you go around 25 miles per hour and have a range between 50 and 115 depending on how fast you're going. And for the base Cybercat, you're looking at $23,000 to $33,000. If you were to upgrade to the Foiler specs, you can then go 40 miles per hour, have a range between 75 and 115, and it'll run you $35,400 to $43,000. And then they share some different images that definitely make it seem enticing. I guess my initial question would be why, but then I guess you could also ask the question, why not? Tesla is supposed to be building superchargers at the world's largest truck stop. Tesla has filed permits to build an 8-stall supercharger at the Iowa 80 truck stop in Walcott, Iowa. This news item got lost in the shuffle last week. The Indian government has turned down the demand of Elon for tax breaks to import EVs, saying rules already allow bringing in partially built vehicles and assembling them locally at a lower levy, according to Bloomberg. According to Vivek Johri, we looked at whether the duties need to be rejigged, but some domestic production is happening and some investments have come in with the current tariff structure. So it is clear that this is not a hindrance. Volvo is set to copy Tesla, implementing a megacast and a structural battery pack into future EVs. So no points for creativity, however, points for doing the right thing and taking a page out of Tesla's playbook because success leaves clues. Subaru has opened reservations for its first all-electric vehicle. The 2023 Solterra can now be reserved starting today at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Subaru of America has partnered with EVgo for charging, and you can purchase or lease this 23 Solterra. It'll cost you $250 that will serve as a refundable reservation fee, and delivery should begin in the summer of this year. The Solterra is available in all 50 states, with an estimated range of more than 220 miles. We mentioned Ram earlier, how the New York Times called them out for being slow to move to electrification, and today they're teasing the Ram 1500 EV pickup and the Ram Revolution and a Real Talk tour. So this is the only image they share. Basically, we're not getting much here, but the RamRevolution.com is an insider program meant to gather feedback from Ram truck enthusiasts as to what they should do for future EV models. Ram plans to offer electrified models in most of the segments it participates in by 2025 and a full portfolio of electrified solutions for all of its segments by 2030. That's gonna wrap it up for today. Please take a second to like the video if you did. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and a huge thank you to all of my Patreon supporters.